What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fourth and Goal Sports Show. I'm your host, Charles Wilson, and today we got a good one. Today we're going to be talking about a discussion on Tyrod Taylor, a discussion on who should lead the New York Football Giants in their next few games, and possibly who could lead the New York Football Giants in the remainder of the season. But before we get into it, please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, as well as follow on the Fourth and Goal Sports Instagram page. But without further ado, let's break it down. How can I put this straight? How can I put this straight? Simply put, Tyrod Taylor deserves to be the New York Football Giants starting quarterback going forward. He deserves it. He's earned it. And I think with a win or at least a solid performance versus the New York Football Jets on Sunday, he will solidify himself as the guaranteed starting quarterback. But so far, let's look at his performances. You go to Buffalo. Everybody's expecting you guys to get blown out. Tyrod plays his butt off. He does everything he can to keep them in that game. He had his miscues, which is expected. He's a backup quarterback, and he's a little rusty. But he came in. 200 passing yards, 80.8% QBR. Those are solid numbers. And in that game, really, if you didn't have that last play, you could have had a chance of winning. You could have had a chance of OT. If you didn't have that last play, which in my opinion, unbiasedly, I thought it was PI on Darren Waller, but that's nevertheless, even when we go to Tyrod Taylor's performance against my Washington Commanders, I mean, he played his butt off. He played lights out from beginning to end. He had, like I said, he had his miscues, but when you look at the stat sheet, when you look at how he played in the game, watch the film, he played like a starting quarterback in this league. 279 passing yards, almost 300 on a secondary that I consider to at least be average or above average. Tyrod Taylor did it. He carved him up. He did his thing. 2 touchdowns. One to Saquon, one to Darren Waller. Great reads, by the way. Those were great reads, especially the Darren Waller throw. That throw was just right down the middle, straight and precise, straight and narrow. Got it in between several defenders. Beautiful throw. Beautiful catch. And Darren Waller would be so much more successful this season if he had a consistent quarterback that could get him the ball in the red zone. Because Daniel Jones hasn't been able to do it. He hasn't been able to do it. But as of recent, Darren Waller's getting the targets he deserves. And that's what Tyrod Taylor's doing. He's making guys around him better. I understand it's only been a few games, but the way Tyrod has been playing, it's bringing energy to a team that a few weeks ago felt that their season was completely over with. And very well so. It probably still is, unbiasedly. But energy, fight, effort, you can't put a price on it in this game. You can't put a price on it. When you're on that field, your coaches, they tell you, give everything you have. Put in the work. Leave the game knowing that you gave it everything you had 100%. And I feel like the New York Football Giants, they can hang their hat on that when Tyrod Taylor is their starting quarterback. I understand Daniel Jones is getting his payday. 40 mil a year. I understand Daniel Jones is getting paid. And it makes it so tough for Tyrod to play because it's like when you pay a guy the big bucks like you did Daniel Jones, it's almost forcing him to have to be on the field. I think as a Washington fan, I understand what that's like because we went through the same situation with Carson Wentz recently. It was almost like Taylor Heineke couldn't stay the starter because Carson Wentz was getting paid the big bucks. But deep down, I think Washington fans knew Taylor Heineke deserved that spot. And we saw the end result. Wasn't what we wanted. It was disastrous. And I think if the Giants are smart, they'll give Tyrod his shot. They'll give him a shot. I mean, 116.9 QBR. For those who don't know what QBR means, quarterback rating. 116.9% quarterback rating versus my Washington Commanders defense, which was projected to be top 7 in the NFL this season. That's what kind of defense we were projected to be. And we just haven't shown it this year. We haven't shown it. And Tyrod Taylor carved the defense up. The secondary was getting embarrassed all night. The secondary was getting embarrassed all night. There were plays where Tyrod took some sacks, but for the most part, that's not on him. The O-line of the Giants, they've been struggling all season. And for Tyrod to play as well as he's played, considering the circumstances of that offensive line, you have to clap it up for him. You have to clap it up for him. You just have to. The Giants are a 2-win team currently. I promise you, with Tyrod Taylor, they're going to find a way to keep it rolling. They're going to find a way to get more wins. They're going to find a way to have effort, intensity, explosiveness, determination, and they're going to find a way to give 100% every game. I believe no matter what the injuries are on the offensive line, no matter what the injuries are on the offense, defense, one thing that brings the team together and brings the energy that's well needed is your quarterback knows what his job is. He's going to come in, lead, and do what he has to do. And I think Tyrod Taylor, in my opinion, he's a better leader than Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is getting paid $40 million as a quarterback. But to be honest, if you were to ask me who's the leader of this New York Football Giants offense, it's not Daniel Jones. It's probably Saquon Barkley or Andrew Thomas. But it's not Daniel Jones. And how can your $40 million quarterback not be the guy? From the leader standpoint, from the on-field standpoint, Tyrod Taylor is the better option. At this point in the season, he is the better option. Please be sure to comment down below. What are your thoughts? Do you think Tyrod Taylor is the best option for the New York Football Giants for the rest of the season? Do you think the Giants should switch back to Daniel Jones once he gets healthy? What are your thoughts? I want to hear them down below. Please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, as well as follow on the Fourth and Goal Sports Instagram page. I'm your host, Josh Wilson. This is the Fourth and Goal Sports Show. Have a blessed day. Peace.